Terms like math rock and shoegaze and progressive rock are all things that you probably think to yourself, aren't these just expressions used for types of music where people try really hard to show you how clever and intelligent they are without being relatable at all? Well, sometimes yes, but then again, sometimes you get bands who are trying to do something interesting and difficult, but also make it relatable and enjoyable at the same time. And that brings us on to the woefully underappreciated band Tone Spoon, who I cannot believe still have only about 300 subscribers. We've been talking about them for a good couple of months now on our Discord community, and it is time, finally, for me to give a review. So here we go. Hi there and welcome back to Japan, where, like I say, if you've been in our Discord community, you know we've probably been banging on about Tone Spoon, can't even say her name properly, for ages, and I've been listening to this song quite a lot, so I've now become quite familiar with it. And the fact that I've been listening to it so much kind of proves the point. This is a song that is much more relatable than you usually get from these kind of bands. Now, obviously, we have a history of bands who do interesting music, which has got a lot of various little clever ideas in it, from Polka Dot Stingray to obviously the much more famous Tokyo Jihen. There are a lot of these kind of groups, and that is the sort of area that Tone Spoon seem to be sitting in. So it is time to, if I can speak properly, talk a little bit about why this song seems so special and why it definitely deserves more attention than the very meager sub 6,000 views that it's got so far. Now, first of all, it's probably worth mentioning what Tone Spoon bring to the table, which is, for the get-go, two really interesting vocalists. I love when groups have multiple vocalists. It's the extra instrument that people just don't seem to think about. Luckily, the two female lead singers seem to have nice, distinct and different voices. One a little bit more powerful, the other one with a sort of earnest lightness to her voice. I really like that. There's a power and a sort of honesty to their two voices that work nicely together. And then on top of that, you have an instrumental arrangement, which is interesting because yes, you have the guitars, the bass, all the normal things, but you have a keyboard player in there. How many times have I said it? Keyboards is the most important instrument you can add to a band because a keyboard can literally be anything. Just change the tone of the instrument. But in this case, it's a beautiful little addition of piano. I do love piano sounds, and it's very well used here. So this is a group who have a lot of things to bring to the table. They have a lot of sounds to work with. So how well do they put it together? Well, on a surface level, all the correct effects are coming across. First of all, we have a very good catchy chorus. On top of that, we have a verse and a whole progression through the bridge that keeps it interesting, keeps it dynamic. You don't just feel like you're killing time to get around to each of the interesting verses. You feel like you're going on a genuinely interesting journey. They use the different sounds. Not everything's playing all the time. The piano that I mentioned before comes in and out. Those layered up vocals, having two vocalists. Sometimes they're doing call and answer, sometimes not. But it's something where the various elements are used sparingly. We get some changes in the time signature. There's little 3/4 bits that come in where we go from the 1 2 3 4 to the 1 2 3 1 2 3. I like the fact that they include that to keep things sounding like they're, you know, sort of interesting, but it's not all the time in that sort of trying to blow your mind with how incredibly weird we are sort of vibe. It's more genuine changes where they really want to move from a much more steady feel to something a little bit more sort of swaying. It genuinely feels like music writing should, where each change that occurs in the music is there to actually sort of feel what's happening in the song. You actually feel like there is a genuine narrative, a genuine progression to the song. You are actually getting changes to the music that are designed to elicit emotions rather than just to impress you. Again, I know I keep on coming back to that, but so many of the bands in this space who are, you know, other than the sort of the ones who have really succeeded, the ones who fail, I tend to find a lot of the time it's because they're just so keen to show you how clever they are, but without actually understanding the cleverest thing to do is to really relate to your audience. And that's what they've done here. I love the fact that when we come into the chorus, we get a key change. We step up. That's such a Japanese thing to do, but it's a Japanese pop thing to do. The key change chorus where you step up a few notes to go into the chorus is a good way of elevating it, giving it a bit of impact, and that feeling that they've put the chorus as the big thing, that there is a refrain, there is a feeling that you want to be able to sing along to this as well, is really great. I love that the bridge itself breaks down to a very sort of sparse feeling where the vocals sort of play amongst each other, you know, sort of call and answer, and then it builds up to the final chorus. I just feel that this is a song that's written to be enjoyed rather than just to impress you, and that the proper techniques have been used throughout to really get that. It's a song that is written with a degree of wisdom, a degree of knowledge, a degree of just maturity, I guess, is the thing I would say. All of this is backed up with a nice, simple music video, which is pretty good looking and quite nicely made, considering the fact that it's clearly a band who have like less than 400 subscribers. I can't believe I'm saying that. It's actually nearer to 300 subscribers. Yeah, we're looking at a band who have that kind of following, and yet they've got a nice looking video. The production and mix of the song as well is nicely put together. There are some bits where the mix felt a little bit off. As much as I like the piano, it did feel like it was slightly overpowering the vocals at some points when it came in. But overall, it's very solidly put together. There's nothing that would ruin the enjoyment. It just feels like it's been nicely presented. For a band who are clearly quite new, there has been love and care put into this. It wasn't just sort of like crapped out, like, ah, here we go, it's the first single. It's like they genuinely put a lot of love into this, and you can feel it in every single layer. The production, the video, and obviously the writing, the musicianship, it's all there. So in conclusion, I would say this is a band who we've got a lot of things yet to see from. I'm looking forward to seeing where they go in the future, but this is a really interesting, mature start. I've really been looking for bands like this of recent who are new, but are starting with just a first song that just really feels like they've already got an idea of what they want to be. Obviously, all these bands have more to find out. They will all grow, as any band should. Even a band who've been around for years should still be finding ways to grow. However, they really feel like they've hit the ground running with something that suggests they're already definitely worth listening to. And yeah, I thought this was way beyond what the numbers underneath the video would suggest, and I really hope you go listen to it. I'm looking forward to hearing more of them as well. Get in the comments to what you think. I know already we've had a long discussion on this about this on Discord, so I've already seen most of the regulars' opinions, but please, whether you were on Discord or not, get into the comments, tell me what you think, show a bit of love for Tone Spoon, and until I hopefully see you very soon in Japan for the next one of these, for now, ciao ciao.